Crabman here from Crabman Gaming, and today we are playing Cricket Captain 2020, and this is the first video of my India playthrough. So this video series will contain either 13 or 14 videos depending on if India get to the World Test Championship final or not. Without further ado, we have 3 one-day international matches against Sri Lanka today for part 1, so let's kick on and get to it. Now, I kind of came up with a bit of a rough squad of my own, so let's make sure all my players that I want are in there. Let me see, Rohit's in there, Prithvi Shaw, he's not in there, so let's get him in there somewhere. Where is he down here? Let's maybe just look at first class. I don't know if he's played too much international cricket. There he is. Get him in the squad. Have we got KL Rahul? Yep, he's in there as well. Kohli obviously should be in, but you never know sometimes with cricket captains. Shreyas Iyer's in. Pant should be in here as well. There he is. Hardik Pandya. Dhoni, yes. Jadeja. Sometimes they like to leave him out. Oh, Rishi Dhawan. Chahal is not there. I don't really want cricket captain Love. He's been in it for ages. Rishi Dhawan. He was always an expensive international, and you'd pick him and he'd do nothing. We want Chahal, so let's have a look. It's going to be my playthrough, so I'm going to do my best to pick people that I want. Shami should be in the squad. He is, and Jasprit Bumrah should be in. Great. We've got one too many people. Shami, yeah, I like Kumar in there. Oh, Kedar Yadav, but I don't think he did very well last year, even though he's got a pretty good one-day record. I don't really want to rotate him out. Maybe one of the batters. Pandya and Shikhar Dhawan. Yeah, looks... Sorry, Manish Pandya. Looks like I'm just going to squeeze you out. It's a bit unlucky. Shikhar Dhawan's going to be the spare batsman, along with either Pant or Pandya, depending on if I can get another bowler in. Alright, that's my 15. Let's do the coaching, which has remained the same in this game since the beginning of time. Not Shikhar Dhawan. Let's go with... let's give it to Rahul. Dhoni can have the keeping. Hardik Pandya can have the fielding for really random reasons. Bowlers, I really want to go with Bumrah, Shami, Chahal and Jadeja. Where's Chahal gone? They like Yadav. Yeah, it's really a bit of a flip up between the two of them. Very similar averages. And we'll give the physio here to Dhoni as well. Alright, let's kick off against Sri Lanka. India should be firm favourites for this one. They're in Sri Lanka, so I can't pick the field. I'm going to try and make these videos quite concise. If you haven't seen my Australia playthrough, go have a little watch of that. I'm just going to mention this right at the start. I do have 2 ways you can get in contact with me online. The first one is the Facebook page, Crabman Gaming. You can like the page, you can see some things I'm posting. And also just today I've set up a Twitter as well. So currently I'm following no one, I've got no followers, so you could be the first one to jump on there. It's Crabman Gaming on Twitter as well. So I haven't really used Twitter before, so it's something new for me, but hopefully I can engage with some new people on there, and people have been asking me for a Twitter over the last couple of weeks, or an Instagram, so I've gone with the Twitter. Alright, let me have a look. This is the lineup that I want. I want Prithvi Shaw in. Sorry, Shikhar Dhawan, move on out. He's an exciting young player, despite what looks to be a pretty terrible IPL. But I think, look at that first class average. I want him in. I'm going to start him in early. KL Rahul, I don't know why Dhoni's not keeping. Rahul, Kohli, Shreyas Iyer at 5. I wanted Hardik Pandya's probably going to bat 6 or 7. It'll just depend how the game's going. Jadeja, I kind of want Chahal in as well. It's a pretty rough 9, 10 and 11, but that's okay. Let's have a look at first class. That's a better indication. Yeah, I thought Shami should be 9. Chahal, what does he normally bat? Well, he's in genuine 11. Bumrah did pretty well in the Australia series. He showed a little bit, so sometimes I look here at the the 2-day. There's not much between them. Yeah, I might leave it at that. Jadeja is a very, very good number 8. That looks to be the lineup that I'm going to go with this opening match. Chahal's probably fighting it out with Yadav for that spot. Shami did well last year, so really between Shami and Bumrah. I really want to try and fit Rishabh Pant in there. Rishabh Pant, so I always get his name wrong. But I can't quite squeeze him in today. It's a very aggressive lineup. Whoa, look at that. Second 11 batting average. Very tasty indeed. Sri Lanka versus India. Let's have a look at the Sri Lanka lineup. Didn't play Sri Lanka much in the Australia save. They've got Fernando opening the batting with Karuna Ratner, Kusal Mendes at 3, Angelo Matthews at 4. They've cut off this guy's name, so it makes it quite hard to pronounce, but he's batting in at 5. Kusal Pereira at 6. Jaya Surya at 7. One of my favourite Sri Lankan player, Wanindu Hasaranga, the leg spinning, very aggressive batting all-rounder at 8. I think it's Dasana Pereira at 9, Dhananjaya, the spinner, at 10, and Fernando, the pace bowler, rounds out the 11. India looking very strong. Rohit Sharma, Prithvi Shaw, KL Rahul, Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, Hardik Pandya, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Ravi Jadeja, Mohammad Shami, Chahal, I've forgotten his first name, and Jasprit Bumrah. It'll come back to me as we go through. It's just eluded me there. Let's bat first on what looks to be a pretty good wicket. We'll do highlights for the first 10 and for the final 5. We'll see how we go with oh, no wonder I couldn't remember his name here. Yuzvendra Chahal. I definitely didn't just forget that. I just didn't know that. So I'll be pretty honest. Both teams playing in blue here today. Really a little bit of a shame not to see India in their reverse orange kit, which they wore in the 2019 World Cup. Sharma has 3 double centuries in one-day international cricket. Prithvi Shaw looks like he's just playing his 4th one-day international, but have very high hopes for him going throughout the year. I'd love for him to remain up the top. I know they've been going through a few openers. I think KL Rahul's been opening a little bit in one-day cricket last year, although I could be wrong, as generally India's not my first team that I follow, but I do follow how they're going as well. And an excellent series opener between England and the West Indies. It was wonderful to see Test cricket back, and I very much enjoyed watching the end of that game this morning. Shaw and Sharma going along pretty well, 5 and over. Just to kick it off, no troubles at all. 2 dives and the ball still gets through. I'll try and remember to do highlights for milestones. I'd love it if they had, you could just turn it off, but maybe just have milestones only would be handy. But I did ask for the runs to win to be included, and that got included, so I probably shouldn't be too greedy in asking for those things. So Pereira and Fernando wicketless. Just as I said that. Do you know what? I'll just keep the wickets on. So if there is a wicket, we can see what happened. Just a mistimed slog down the ground. KL Rahul's coming in here. I'm not sure why they don't just name him KL in the game, which is a little bit unusual. Dhananjaya. No, I don't like this wickets only. I'm going to turn it off. Every time I see a highlight, it's going to be frustrating. Okay, out comes Virat Kohli. Look at the one-day international batting average, 59 with a strike rate of 93. That is fantastic. I'll just let him get in to the 20 overs. Make sure this is off. Okay, we're going about 5 and over. Sharma's made his 50. Hasaranga is having a bowl. Oh, nice aggressive over. I'm trying not to make these videos too long. I think in the Australia playthrough, I probably did make them a fraction too long, but that's okay. All right, let's see. 96, we'll put highlights on. Try and watch the 100 of Rohit Sharma in the very first game. He's cut that over. Cover for a big 6. There's his 100. Raise the bat. India looking really good. Now, it used to be the case where if you made your score after 30 overs, you'll double it after 30. It's almost pushed out to about the 33 to 35 over mark now. You can almost expect to double it from 35 onwards if you're batting really well. Have been watching, as there hasn't been too much live cricket, been watching some classic highlights from the 80s. It's generally Australia versus whoever was touring in the late 80s. And 240 was a good score back in the day. as well. Generally, the first 10, a team would try and be about none for 30. The openers did bat very slow indeed. Okay, 35, 188. Would probably want about 320 to 330. Would be pretty good here. Oh, the runs are flowing. Big score. Can Sharma get another double 100? Gee, that's a big over. 150. We'll have a look at this 150. India in complete control. Oh, he's at the other end. That's annoying. I did have a point. I had something I was going to talk about and I've completely forgotten it. Virat's near his 100. Oh, I'll probably have to turn highlights on for it. He's 96. Can he get another one-day 100? He can. It's cut away for a huge 6. Sri Lanka in all sorts of trouble. I did say when I was doing the Australia save that as Sharma is gone for 152, that India are very capable of scoring 400 in a couple of these one-day international games. They just have such a strong and aggressive batting lineup. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to go through the schedule. You can look at it in the description below, just as I turn these highlights on. But it's 3 one-dayers against Sri Lanka, then 3 T20s, then 3 one-day internationals against Zimbabwe. Be looking for 400 there. Next video is 3 one-day internationals against England, then 3 T20s against England, 3 T20s against Australia, and then the 2020 World Cup will round out video 7, and that will be about halfway through. 301 with 5 to go. How many can India get in these last 5 overs? So if you are enjoying the video, please just flick a like down the bottom. Comment down below. I will reply to all the comments as best I can. Kohli's gone. Just 112 off 92 balls for him. Okay, probably could have sent Pandya or Dhoni in. And if you are enjoying these videos, I am releasing them at the same time every day, so you are welcome to subscribe as well. Getting about 3 or 4 new subscribers a day, which has been awesome lately. And there's going to be at least 2 weeks of this India series for you to enjoy daily. Okay, 4 to go. I'm always a bit scared to put that aggression meter to the max because players tend to get out straight away. Just 6 off that over. That's a bit disappointing. Let's go for it off Dhananjaya. Bowling spin at the end. Not really what I would do. Haven't really had any massive overs here at the end. We're 300 off 45. What's that done? Inside edge? Oh, it's gone. Dhoni comes in. Look at that average, 50. This was a good over here from Dhananjaya. I think he debuted in Australia when he was about 19 years old. It might have even been around 2011, perhaps. He's 26 now, or maybe a little bit later. Or 2012, yeah. So he played when he was 18. So he has been on the scene for a while. Probably should have flicked Dhoni's aggression up a little bit. But that's okay. Shreyas Iyer hits one down the ground. This is a pretty formidable total that Sri Lanka will need to chase. And a no ball. Didn't really capitalise off the free hit. Dhoni doing a good job sweeping away. This is a nice big over so far. 15 from it. 16 from it. No, 15 from it. 19 from it now. 19 from that over. Last over. Dhananjaya to bowl it again to Shreyas Iyer. India looking for the 350 in their first one-day international of this series. There's a huge flat 4 to the onside and a dot to finish. Never seemed to get any runs off the last ball. He bowled pretty well actually, and Sri Lanka will need a nice even 7 runs and over, 350 to win. Let's have a quick look at the Indian innings. Rohit Sharma, 152 off 137 balls. Prithvi Shaw, 21. Rahul, 11. Kohli gets his 44th one-day century with 112 off 92. Good support at the end. Well, the Sri Lankans were smashed all over the park. Probably Hasaranga and Dhananjaya were the pick of the bowlers, especially bowling spin at the end. Alright, let's put highlights on and see how we go. Jasprit Bumrah coming in to open. What an excellent bowler he is. I was going to say what an excellent one-day bowler he is, but he's an excellent bowler in all formats of the game. So it doesn't really matter what format he's playing, he's going to do well. We just got highlights, and you've got the DLS here as well. Now, in my... That's caught and bowled. There's the first wicket. Fernando's on his way. In my Australia video, I mentioned that I hadn't seen a lot of rain. And in fact, in the 14, 15 videos I saw rain in one video. And it pretty much ruined the World Cup for Australia. So there's LB. Karunaratne's gone to Mohammad Shami, who had a really great year last year in the one-day format. So I would like to see a little bit more rain this year, but maybe not during the World Cup, unless it really helps me, because I had a washed-out game against Scotland and then half a washout against New Zealand, which cost Australia a spot in the semi-finals. Okay, I just wanted to give Bumrah one more before we go into the spin. Hardik Pandya would like to get that average down a little bit, but what you can see is where they're already behind. Even if they were just going at 7 and over, they needed to be at 70, so the Sri Lankans are a little bit behind already. Chahal comes in. It's hard to pick between Chahal and Yadav, who's going to be that spinner. And I do tend to find if you're chasing a big score, there's a snick, Kusal Mendes is out, that the spinners will be expensive, but they will get you wickets as well. And sometimes your pace bowlers are expensive too. So let's get Jadeja on. One of my favourite cricketers, Ravi Jadeja. I had no idea why he wasn't playing in the early stages of the World Cup. I don't know who it was, but probably one of the Indian journalists referred to him as a bits and pieces player, which was absolutely ridiculous when you have a 47 bowling average of 24. It's ridiculous. And even in Test cricket, 35 and 24. It's absolutely crazy that he's been called a bits and pieces player. One of my favourite players. Okay, it's pretty tidy. Sri Lanka look a long, long way out in this first match. They look a long way from being competitive. Angelo Matthews, that looks like it's going down left. He's been captain for a long time. I think he may have given up the captaincy recently, just focusing on batting. He's been around, very experienced player, but he has departed. And now it is up to Kusal Perera, and I can't... This guy's name must be long, because I can't even see what it is. Is there any way I can actually see this poor fellow's name? Oh, here it is. Gunathaleki. It's not that long. Strange. Well, that's cut off. There's some longer names. Like Karunaratne's pretty long. Is that? Anyway. Less worrying about that and more worrying about getting the job done in these 3 one-day internationals. Okay, let's get Pandya back on. He does himself some confidence. Happens when that's outside. Oh, I thought that was outside the line. Gee, the umpire's been very generous. Looked like he got himself outside the line to me, but maybe an umpire's call if it went upstairs to the DRS. Let's have a look. What does it say down below? Yeah, struck in line. Questionable to me, but I'll take it. Pandya going the journey. Let's get Shami on just for a couple with Bumrah for a few. Just to really kick through. Push through. There's a sneak. Oh, it's dropped. Shami's got through Jayasuriya. It's 137. Still to get. Let's just finish off with the spin. Get Chahal in. Really, if Sri Lanka have any chance, they've got to attack. Did make the finals of the 2007 and I want to say the 2011 World Cups as well, Sri Lanka, the 50 over World Cup, but just couldn't quite get the job done in either of those games. Alright, let's get Pandya they need 121, so it can be done in the last 10, but not with your final few batsmen. You probably need some more of your more experienced batsmen to be helping there as Pandya gets himself a wicket. We'll just spread it round here at the end. That's out, Dhananjaya, and to wrap up the victory, Shami gets Fernando, first ball, plum LBW, I could see it coming, on your way. That's the game. India have won by 99 runs. Not much resistance here from the Sri Lankans. 43 Matthews, this fella's name that's chopped off. I'll call him DG, 58. Kusal Pereira, 58, not out. For the bowling, spread round pretty well. Chahal was actually quite expensive. Bumrah 1 for 45, Shami 4 for 35, Pandya 1 for 53, Chahal 1 for 69, and Jadeja, impressive, 3 for 48. India take the first match. 2 matches to go in the series. So I hope you are enjoying the video so far. After the 2020 World Cup, there's 4 test matches against Australia, then 3 one-day internationals, 5 test matches against England, 3 one-day internationals against Afghanistan, and if we have a look at the World Test Championship here, if India make the final, I will play that as well. Let's move on to the second game. I'm going to keep the same lineup. Little bit of spin there. Not really going to change the side after such a dominant performance. Have Sri Lanka changed anybody? They have brought in Pradeep for 11, and that's really it. We are going to bat again. Put poor Sri Lanka, hopefully, to the sword, but they could turn the corner. And yep, there's got Sharma for a duck, so that's what can happen after a big score. Get a big score, get a little score. Rahul, oh, there's an edge. He's lucky to get away with that for 4. Alright, I'm going to change this now. I meant to change this before we started. I'm actually going to reverse the score because I know traditionally most people like it around this way. And I did forget to change it at the start of this video. So I'm going to go outside of my comfort zone and call it 20 for 1 and say the score first. Even strange to me, that's for sure. I really want him to kick on. Rahul's gone. Looked like it was hitting leg stump. Kohli's in. Can he get another century? I've put the commentator's curse on him. It's an inside edge. Alright, only 6 overs in. So India batting quickly, off to a quick start. Oh, it's very strange for me to see the score around the other way. Prithvi Shaw. It's actually only a runner ball, but India going at 6.3 and over. Let's turn these highlights off. We'll try and get through a little bit quicker because I know this can go for a really long time. Alright, we'll just push through to the 20 over mark. Keep an eye on any milestones. This is where you just tick along here in one-day cricket. Shaw's getting a little bit slow, so we'd like to push on a little bit. It is a very slow 50, 77 balls. However, they are keeping some wickets in hand. We'll go to 35 and then we'll look to really accelerate. Alright, let's see if we can see. Could be his first one-day 100 for Prithvi Shaw. I've put faith in the youngster to open the batting. It's pitched outside leg, surely. Surely, umpire. It has. I was worried, or only just. Here's Kohli, looking calm and collected. Smashes one over the leg side for 6. He can do no wrong. What's his average now? Nearly 60. That's outside leg. We'll see some of that. He hasn't. Oh, there's a snick. Come on, Shaw. Get to 100. He has. There's his first one-day international 100. Well done, Prithvi Shaw. We get no shots of it. We're on Kohli. We're on the wrong man. Get the camera down the other end. All right, turn this off. And we'll just leave it at this until 40. Shaw's gone for 108. And then we'll crank it right up for 5. Oh, that's a nice big over. Poor Shreyas Iyer sacrificing his wicket. Kohli's made 100 with a big 6. Back-to-back hundreds. It's 100 number 45. No one can stop him. It's absolutely incredible. Okay, 5 to go. How much past 300 can India go? Well, no further. Pandya's missed one. They've still got Dhoni, still got Ashwin to come. Not Ashwin, still got Jadeja to come. Thinking of the test matches, Ashwin's definitely in my calculations for this test 11. Don't need to worry about that for a while though. As Kohli's dispatching poor Dhananjaya. He has to bowl at the death again. Don't know what Sri Lanka are thinking. He's been cut for 6. Cut to pieces by Kohli. Oh, extract some revenge by bowling him for just 122. Obviously, that's a little bit of a joke. It's a huge 122. Dhoni comes out with 4 overs to go. So much spin at the end, Sri Lanka. I don't understand. Just going to get pasted. Where are your seam bowlers? Where's Malinga? Retired. Oh, that's probably out. Pandya skied that. Jadeja could get it. In comes Jadeja at World Cricket if you've got Jadeja coming in that low. Dhoni look for a few runs. 300. It's a good score, but can be chased down. So these last few overs are important for the innings. That's a pie. That should have been 6, not a 4. Poor Dhananjaya. Oh, he does get a wicket. Mohammad Shami, Chahal. Shami's just going to have a little waft of the bat. 2 overs to go. 310. Yeah, it's a good score. Good score. See how much more we can get. There's a big difference, I think, in one-day cricket between like a score that's 3-5, 310 and like a 330, 340. So it does make a big difference if you can just get a couple of good overs right at the end, which India have done pretty well. Should be okay against Sri Lanka. Shami's not really done anything here to help matters. I think he's just got a single. I think he's made 2 off about 9 balls. Last ball, never get any runs off the last ball. It's the run-out chance. He looks very short. Must have just snuck home. 2 off 9 for Shami. ODI. India make 318. Prithvi Shaw with his first one-day international 100. Virat Kohli 122. A few people chipping in. Again, Sri Lanka. Hasaranga did a great job being nice and tight through the middle overs. They left the spinners to bowl at the end again. Let's see what the Sri Lankan batsman can do. All right, here's Shami and Bumrah. It's also good, even if you don't take wickets, it's very handy not to get smashed out of the attack as well. So even though there's the first wicket, I know they've lost 1 wicket, but they're going quite slowly when you need over 6 and over. It's still a long way to go. That's plumb. And already the DLS is moving out further and further away. We'll just bowl it wide. That's probably the bowler they need to target. The Sri Lankans, they'll need to target Pandya's 10 overs. There isn't really an option for anyone to chip in. At least I don't think there is. Korea, yeah, not really. Yeah, unless you want to bowl Rohit Sharma, but probably not. So he does have to bowl his 10. So he does have an important role in the side. They don't really have a 6th bowler who can bowl, 2 or 3 or 4, a bit like a Glenn Maxwell or a Darcy Short who can bowl a few overs. It's really just Hardik Pandya. So it's going to be interesting how that 5th bowler goes against some stronger sides as well. So Sri Lanka hanging in. They're a little bit ahead of the DLS, but that's a long, long way to go. They've still got some wickets in hand. We've got Jadeja to come on and clean up though, so don't worry, Indian fans. Jadeja's here to save the day. There's Gunathileke hit outside the line. Chahal's just going to bowl his 10 straight through. He's been fairly tight. You could say in this situation, generally if you're going for 6 and over, that's not that great. But when the team needs 7 and over, if you can keep it under 6, that's very helpful for your team. Because you're just pushing that asking rate up every single over. Jadeja to some couple of left handers. I think he did have a year where he got nearly 100 test wickets. I wonder if it was 2 years ago. So not last year, but the year before. It must have been the year before that. I think he got 80, 90, 100 test wickets. It was just incredible. I think with Ashwin as well, they got nearly 100 wickets each. They were just an unstoppable pair to any poor team who had to tour India during that time. We'll get Pandya back on, try and get through some of his overs. Oh, I think it's just grazing leg. He's going to give it. The umpire's going to give it. He's keen to send Pereira on his way. Oh, he's just flicked the leg stump. He can count himself a little bit unlucky. Here comes Pandya. He's looking for wickets. He's been a bit unlucky. Jadeja's just gonna bowl out. We'll get Bumrah back on. Sri Lanka been batting okay. They haven't collapsed, but just haven't got enough runs on the board. Hasaranga's probably their last hope. Gunathaliki stayed in for a while. Really got my work cut out with some of these names in this series. I'm trying my very best to say all the names as accurately as I can. Gee, that is a terrible run. Oh, he's barbecued Hasaranga for a diamond duck. Haven't seen one of these for a while. 1 minute. Why even bother putting your gear on? Poor Wanindu Hasaranga. Gone without even facing a ball. He was really their last hope. Just a 50 for Fernando. That's about all that's happened so far for the Sri Lankans. Alright, let's keep Shami on. Get Pandya on. They need 100. Just 8 overs to go. I think they've patched the game a little bit as well, because earlier on, if teams were chasing 300, they'd always be out by about the 40th over, and they might make 250, but they'd bat really, probably too aggressively, and you'd never see a team bat the 50 overs chasing. I mean, you really shouldn't anyway, but they wouldn't even get close. They'd get out the 40 over mark, 40-second over mark all the time. So I think they've just tweaked that slightly, as Bumrah traps Pradeep plumb in front for a golden duck. Number 11 gets a golden, 2 games in a row. India win by 65 runs in this second game. Really just my friend DG here with 62, Fernando with 57, 45 for Angelo Matthews. Bumrah takes 4 for 44, Shami 2 for 53, Pandya doesn't get a wicket, Chahal doesn't get one either, Jadeja another 3 wickets for him. He's on form. India wrap up the series. India in Sri Lanka. Let's have a quick look what happened last time India were in Sri Lanka in the one-dayers. Here we go. India, where are we? Where am I looking? I've gone blind. Where are they? England, New Zealand, Pakistan. Oh, this is who I'm facing. No wonder. Gee, India at the top. It's because I don't play as India very often. Last time they went to Sri Lanka, they won 4-1. So it doesn't really change the world rating points. You get 2 for a win. So they're in third, a long way behind final one-day international. I might give Yadav a go because Chahal has only taken the 1 wicket. Definitely not a dropping, but I don't really know who I can put in here either. It's really a spinner's wicket. It's quite hard to leave anyone out. Kind of want to give Pan to go. Junior likes to bat about 4. Not a strong one-day average though. And Shikadawan just squeezed out. No, we'll go with the same team. We'll go tails. And let's just bat again because why not? They've brought Udana in this time. But he did play the first game. And I think that's just the one change to the lineup. We're going to bat. We're going to be very aggressive. I'm just going to do highlights for the first 5 overs so this video isn't too long. But let's try being really, really aggressive. Could backfire. There's a 6 and a no ball. And another 6 from Sharma. This is a huge first over. And another 6. 21 off Udana's first over. Poor fella. It generally does backfire when you try and bat too quickly. But we're winning 2-0, so let's give it a go. poor Sri Lankans could be in trouble if they don't take some early wickets. Almost treating this like a T20 match. They don't tend to change their bowlers either if they get hit. They don't. The AI doesn't really have the thought process to think, gee, he's been hit for 40 off 3 overs, I'm going to take him off. Gee, I'm just going to keep the highlights on. 58 off the first 5. Sharma hits a 4 away. So they're just keeping these bowlers on in their normal pattern. Oh, there's an edge. He's dropped him. Oh, dear. Poor Pereira. We'll keep it on till 10. I wasn't going to. Slow down a little bit until that 6 over extra cover wasn't extra cover. It was almost over point. Sharma hits one down the ground. He's probably on 50. I think this is his 50. Otherwise, they wouldn't be showing this highlight. It's gone to the wrong end, but pretty sure that's 50 to Sharma. Inside the 10th over it is. Very few balls faced. All right, let's turn the highlights off. Oh, and there's a wicket. So I'll run out straight away. KL Rahul, he can see if he can get a move on quickly. This really is a demolition. Sharma will try and spot his 100. Oh, Rahul's out. Kohli, we won't worry about being too aggressive for the start. Oh, I thought that was going to be it. 60 ball 100. There it is. 100 for Rohit Sharma, just 64 balls. Pushes it down the ground. That is a good save. 100 for Sharma. Raise the bat. There it is. In just the 23rd over. Turn the highlights back off. Going at 8 and over. Couple of tidy overs. We'll get to 30. We'll crank it up again. Kohli's gone for 39. Shreya's Iyer very aggressive again. This is what I was not worried about, but this is what I thought could happen for India if they really got going as well. 326. This could be the 400 I was talking about. Just go for it, Hardik Pandya. I'll just keep him where he is for one more over. I definitely think 400 is looking likely. Oh, I was going to say, unless Sri Lanka take a couple of quick wickets. It's a huge score. Well, that's a pie. Oh, he's missed it. Something I would do when I'm batting. Miss an absolute juicy pie. I'm never a fan of a full toss either. I always think they're a little bit hard to hit. You see the international players just flick them away with ease. Oh, drop Pandya. And he's made it back for 2. He's made a 50 as well. Got 3 overs to go. Better crank up the aggression. If we want to get to 400. Oh, flat 6. It's gone all the way. Very entertaining final game. Sometimes these dead rubbers can be a little bit boring. But India have decided just to go all out. 2 to go. Struggling to get to 400. Losing a bit of momentum. That's missing. Oh no, what's happened here? Oh. Computer struggling a little bit to run the very high-spec Cricket Captain 2020. Alright, 17 needed off the last over. Let's go all out. Paul Hasaranga has to bowl at the end. Scared to have a look at some of these bowling figures for the Sri Lankans. Just a 4. Unlucky that wasn't 6. I wonder what India's highest one-day score is. I don't really know. Is it over 400? I'm sure they've scored 400 before. Oh, is it inside edge? 391, Mohammad Shami. Just 2 off 9 balls in the last game. He's probably going to get out first ball. Oh, that's a rank ball down leg. Oh, I thought it was down leg side. But he stepped back in between the pad and the bat. Not holding out much hope. He's been cleaned up. Probably should have put Yadav in before him. Well, the hopes of 400 are gone. Could be 3 wickets in the last over for Hasaranga. It definitely is. It's redeemed himself. Well, no one went for the big 100. But pretty average figures all round. Sharma, a magnificent 130 off just 90 balls. 41 each for Shaw and Rahul. 39 for Kohli. Everyone with strike rates over 100. Shreyas Iyer 48, Pandya 64 not out, 8 for Dhoni, 17 for Jadeja, ducks for Shami and Yadav in the final over, and everyone getting a pasting. Udana 76, Pereira 1 for 87, Jayasuriya none for 81. Poor bowlers at the end. Dhananjaya 3 for 80, Hasaranga picked up 3 in the final over to finish with 4 for 76. Sri Lanka need a near impossible 392 runs to win. Just to round out this series, let's have the highlights on. Do you know what? I'm just going to have wickets on just to speed it up. So thanks for watching through this first video. Tomorrow is 3 T20s against Sri Lanka. And Sri Lanka are a lot more competitive in the T20 format. So I tend to find the shorter the game, the more competitive the matches are. Test match is probably the easiest to play. If you haven't watched it, please go back and watch the all-time India versus all-time Australia game, because it's one of the best games I've ever played on Cricket Captain, one of the most entertaining games. To be honest, they still need 300, but if this game got rained off, I think it's 20 overs constitutes a game, technically they would be the winners. Oh dear. So they're making a good fight of it, Fernando and Karunaratne. They are a long way ahead of the DLS. If it did rain now, where's the rain? They would be declared the winners. All you need to do is lose a wicket or two and your momentum stops. This is a wicket ball, I know, because I just put wickets on. So 2 in the over. Karunaratne's gone. Not quite outside the line. Yadav hasn't quite got any. Let's get Pandya back on, get through a couple of his overs. There's a snick, he's got Matthews. So they're still 200 runs away. This is what can happen with such a monumental score. They'll probably end up losing by 150 runs here. But it didn't stop it from being a very entertaining start to the innings. It's actually been an entertaining game for a dead rubber. That's Plum LBW. Jadeja's got 3 again. He's taken 9 wickets for the series. Here's Bumrah coming in. Still 12 and over required with 16 overs to go. That is a huge problem. And it's just a matter of time before India win this game and win the series 3-0. So thanks for joining in. The first of this series, the India playthrough. Lots of recommendations to play this. It was really between this and an England save, or maybe a Perth Scorchers save, but India overwhelmingly won the vote. So thanks so much to people who are commenting. Pereira is bold. Getting a lot of people watching from the UK as well. So if you're watching from the UK, feel free to drop a comment or two below. Lots of Indian followers posting below, so thanks very much. You guys know who you are, who are posting comments every single day. Thank you so much. I'd just like some people who are watching, maybe they're lurking, they can throw out a comment or two as well. Feel free to join in. It's all good fun. That's all this is, all just to have a good time. Unless you are Sri Lanka, who have been defeated in all 3 matches. They made a good fight of it, making 300. Really, Fernando and Karunaratne set the stage early. And if it rained after 20 overs, Sri Lanka would have been the victors. So let's have a quick look through. They're really the only 2 to make runs, apart from Pereira's 40. Bumrah, no wickets, none for 54. Shami picked up 2 for 75. Pandya, very handy for him to get amongst the wickets. Is that his best bowling effort? 4 for 52. It definitely is. Yadav with just the 1 wicket. Jadeja 3 again for 3 threes, make 9. He'd probably be my man of the series, although Kohli did score 2 centuries. And what did he get today? A 39. Yeah, Pandya is the man of the match because he also got 64. Bit harsh on Sharma. But that's the way it goes. 3 solid victories. Let's have a quick look at the Sri Lankan stats. Really, the top 3 here got some runs, but not much support from anybody else. Bowling, Hasaranga was the star with 8 wickets at 22. Everyone else pasted for over 7 and over. And a few people here not even getting a wicket. Jayasuriya was a little bit disappointing. For the Indians, runs galore. 282 for Sharma, 273 for Kohli. Shaw did well. Everyone else chipped in with a high strike rate. Not much opportunity for Dhoni or Jadeja. And wickets, Jadeja 9, Shami 8, Bumrah 5, Pandya 5. A great job. The spinner here, not really between them, just getting 2. So thanks so much for watching today. Remember, I have a Facebook, Crabman Gaming, you can add me on. Twitter that I've just opened today as well. Flick a like if you've enjoyed the video, or a comment, or subscribe if you're enjoying this series. And we'll see you tomorrow for 3 T20s versus Sri Lanka. See you then.